left falling on my feet. Looking for something that I really need. Then I stumble upon a channel so divine, just like I found a portal to another time. A channel with a mystical flair. Gotta make the light sunset and clear. 369 time mission, please take me to the higher place. I'm locking my intuition, feeling spirit's embrace. From your path to psychic abilities, tarot cards and more. I'm catching all the vibes like I never did before.
Goodbye.
Up in the clouds and going. Do you wanna fly with me?
What's up, my wonderful, fabulous Virgo? How is it going? How are you feeling?
Anything, I process everything by reverse engineering. I look at why did they teach us evolution? Why are they teaching us Darwinism? So reverse engineer and say, what's the purpose of it? The purpose of it is to make you think a certain mind state, to form a certain psychology, which forms a certain behavior, which allows somebody else to be in control of you, and you will never know what you really are, but they know what you are. So that's how I start figuring out why we are taught certain things. So real way to become conscious of yourself is learning how to teach yourself. It's not in a book.
Right.
It's not going to be certain things. It's like you got to learn how to teach yourself. You got to learn how to turn off the labeling, the judging, fear. The fear is like the hardest thing to turn off.
It is. I think for me, I can only speak for me. That has been like a stage thing, like in stages. Like maybe fear used to be up here, right, with whatever, just to say life, right? And now, you know, as time has gone lower and lower and lower and lower, and so it's a more controlled kind of thing where it wasn't always like that. Like that was learned. Even be able to turn fear off, which for me, straight up, like I still work on that. Like when I feel it coming in, I have to like consciously be like, this is an illusion. You know what I mean? And then also just try to recognize like, okay, but am I sensing something? Like, what is this? But on like a very basic scale, this is an illusion, right? Is that part of the programming then?
It's part of the program. I view it as a game, like a video game. I kind of view it like Grand Theft Auto.
Okay.
There's levels, there's markers, there's certain parts where you're gonna add new weapons or new stuff to your cache or whatever. That's how this life is. It's like you learn stuff, you go through these phases, and there's these points where you hit these markers. And those markers are usually people in your soul group, soul tribe, or whatever you want to call it. You're gonna have these distinguished points in time that let you know your reality of what you thought it was isn't what you thought it was. So this
I feel
game,
like that's a real thing.
It's a game to me, and and we do what, like I said, we duplicate everything what we are and what the physical body are. So in order for us to create video games, TV shows, movies, it all comes from a real place. It's a real thing. So when I tell people like hit movies, those are really memories, and those are real events that have actually happened in another time, so to say.
And as such, right? Because you could say in another time, in another dimension, what have you, that would make the creators or creator of that movie, of that experience, creator, right? A creator, because that's like, literally what it is.
They're creators, but they don't even know the macro of what they're actually doing, because they might put together writers, stunt people, punch up writers, you got grip people, and they may never meet each other, but they all come together to make this content or movie, whatever it may be, and it's an actual real thing, because that programming is in all of us somehow through this matrix, this energy matrix. It pulls information from us and it makes us push it out. So everything that we see is something that is already in us. We're projecting it outward. So we're always creating everything around us. That's why it's like everything is tarot around us. We can speak to it. We can affect it. We can change it. But we don't like to think it's us. So we start labeling it. We give it modality names. We call it religion. We call it tarot. We call it meditation. And we start confusing ourselves more and more because we start dividing it up more and more. So that's kind of the point where the mind flips to where you keep trying to compress it all down to this being the only reality of your existence, and it's not.
Right.
We leave here all the time.
When we sleep, for example.
Yeah. And then like you had said about like the spirit, how does the spirit world and all of that coincide with all of this? Those are other experiences that we also experience. Like I remember being a ghost. I remember being a what you would call a spirit guide. It's still, you're not in a body. I remember being a watcher, a protector. These are all the different things when I didn't have a body. So those are still forms of existences where you have a so-called life, but it doesn't involve eating. You don't breathe. You absorb, not in a body. Yeah.
Like a light, or like your essence, or you're like a light, or whatever it.
And you don't absorb energy.
You had it.
Like we absorb energy and give energy differently in each experience.
Okay, yeah.
So like when like Monsters Inc., the cartoon, that's a real thing.
Right.
Like when you're a ghost, scaring people actually is like eating. It gives you like a high. You feed off of it. It's not a bad thing in that realm, but in this dimension, but in this dimension, you're taught to believe that it's bad. But in that existence, it's not viewed as bad. It's perspective.
What is the deal when you have situations where people are like, oh, this place is haunted, right? Which, okay, it could be haunted because there's the paranormal activity there, right? Because they're eating. We can just say that, right? So we just use that as an example. The ghosts are eating. That's like giving them energy. We'll say that is giving them energy, right? What happens when you have those situations where it's like there's actual like physical harm that's done to living beings in this realm from the other side, I guess, for lack of a better way, for that paranormal? Like, we don't really hear about it a lot, but you know, there are always those stories of, well, this and this and this happened to this person. They were the only person there. You get what it is that I'm trying to say? Like, so if it's just perspective and it's like, okay, well, it's just this person's perception, right? They're perceiving it to be a scary thing, or that's how would that explain someone having like an actual physical harm or something? Do you get what I'm trying to ask?
You got multiple things that can happen at once. A person can die, not know that they're dead. A person can be aware that they're in another realm, you know, aka a ghost, and not know how to function within that body or that experience, like how to communicate. Because I've been in those situations where I know that there are other beings that exist around us that we can't see. You would call them ghosts. Because I remember as a baby, I used to sense a woman sitting in my bed, and I thought it was my mother, but it wouldn't be nobody there. And then I would hear like footsteps walk around my bed. Nobody was there. And we even moved to a whole nother house, and the same thing would happen in my room. You would hear footsteps of somebody walking in my room. They would walk around my bed and walk around the other side and then walk back out. It was like they were always checking on me. So I'm like, okay, maybe that was somebody from another life. I just can't remember who they are. So these things are possible because we can exist in all types of forms.
Do you write your dreams? You don't?
Just remember them. They're like everyday life experiences.
I've been writing mine for almost 2 years, and it became a habit. Like I said I was going to do it, and now I just do. Like I'm able to just not even be fully aware, I guess, in this reality, I guess you could say, and write it down. It's just really interesting because I feel like none of us really know what a dream is. I think some people are more aware of maybe what it is, but like I don't feel like any of us really know in no uncertain terms this is exactly what it is. I do feel like, I mean, obviously we travel, right, and we're tapping into different consciousnesses, but then do you think it's ever possible that a person just does not dream?
People tell me that, and I be thinking those are the NPCs, but I've had other people that say they're conscious and they don't dream either.
Because I've only met one person, that at least that I'm aware of, you know, I only know people tell me, right? But that I'm aware of that literally looked me in the face and I actually genuinely feel like they just didn't dream. And I'm just like, I cannot relate to that at all. Like I literally and it was almost like a thing where I want to believe that maybe they dream and just don't know. But like ever. But yeah, I met one person. I've met a person in life who was like, yeah, no, I just don't ever dream. And
that's crazy.
I had no choice but to believe. Like it just whooped this person to have. I was just like, I don't know. Yeah. And so yeah, it's interesting though, the experience that I ended up having with that individual. So it does kind of make you wonder, like, is that an NPC? Like, are there really soulless beings?
Yeah, it is.
Do we get demoted to it? Do we like start to lose pieces of our soul, or are there just like?
No, I think I think you make a choice of if you want to be lost or not.
So it makes you wonder, like, well, which side of this am I on? Like, because if I had a group of people, it's like, am I dead and don't know? Because the answer is kind of yes, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, I guess that's a very simple way to I guess say it. But you can say, but then we're also living, so
we're living where we're not in the body, though.
So now we're in this matrix, right? We're not in NPCs because we might still retain programming or memories from before, which is right now. Okay. But that being said, we're all still NPCs or whatever until we wake up. There are some that are more aware than others that know more because they know more, they do more, and they continue to just be more and more and more and more, right? What is it for?
Just filler. It doesn't really serve a purpose. It's just filler. Just like a game. If you didn't have those background people, wouldn't seem as real. You wouldn't be in the now or more engaged if you didn't have like all this filler. Because that's part of the distraction. You're multifaceted, multidimensional. So in order to kind of lock you in to an illusion of starting all over, not having memory, these things got to be here. It has to be here in order to have that struggle process, because you're not going to want to question anything if there's no change, no friction, no some type of disruption.
Side note, I just have to say, the song that's playing right now that I'm listening to is called Why. And I just think that's really funny because I'm literally at that point where why? What we're sitting here talking about, what is the reason? And I think that's where I'm stuck, but people have been stuck. And maybe the trick is, or not the trick even, is it that there is no why, because why is always changing, evolving?
Sort of.
Looking at it right.
Kind of, it evolves because there's many whys, but right. That one about why even have this whole illusion thing is right. You really have to, answer comes from you because it's right in front of you, but it's like you have to be willing to do the work to receive those answers, because a lot of times we get the answers but we don't want to receive it because it's not packaged how we think it should be, how we think it should sound, how it's supposed to feel. Because I tell people a lot of things that I talk about, people they still back away from. So that tells me, okay, you're scared to understand yourself. So as soon as I say something about a demon or having demon abilities, people shut down. So, or even religious people, they're the most, usually they're the first to start shutting stuff down and be fearful and start being mean towards you because of fear. So it's like, okay.
It's not seen though. That's the thing, and how you can't make somebody see, you can't make people see things until they're ready.
That's the thing. You have to be ready. You have to make that choice when you're ready to take on that information about yourself. It's not actually external. It's actually internal. Because like I said before, a lot of people assume that I'm from the military, the army, but I remember my lives that I was in the army, and I flown planes, I hunted people down. And it was like, in this life, I was like, I didn't even want to be in a body again. So it's like, in this life, I'm definitely not going to let somebody else control me. I don't want to be in the military or army. But having that memory of what I did and carrying it over and still making choices in this lifetime of what I want to do, but that energy is still on me of what I did in other lives.
Down to the fly factory where the beats are bumping and the vibes are fly. We got the 808s kicking and the melodies move just like a fresh fade and a brand new. If you need a trim or a quick shave, FlyFactorBarberLounge at your car. Yeah, located in Lawrenceville, GA. Give them a call or just stop on by. They'll hook you up and make you look so fly. Come on down to the Fly Factory where the beats are bumping and the vibes are fly. We got the 808s kicking and the melodies move just like a fresh fade and a brand new. If you need a trim or a quick shave, FlyFactorBarberLounge at your car. Yeah, located in Lawrenceville.